Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's the start of a work week for me, and I will no longer have the issue of the sun shining in my face because the time has changed. So now it's a little bit darker when I get here to work. So that's good news. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I have had this burden in my heart since yesterday, and I think my body was literally like manifesting this. And so I want to go over what it is to rest and why God calls us to rest, because I think that a lot of us in this day and age, especially, we're in this culture of like hustle and like keep going and keep doing. And I've mentioned in previous videos, like, we, as you know, my husband and I, we're in a busy season right now. We have activities for the kids pretty much like from the moment we are up until like 8:30. We have things that we're doing. On Tuesdays we get home really late, and all of these things are great. Like, these are blessings. I'm so grateful to the Lord that I'm able to afford putting my kids in, you know, private classes and things like that. I didn't have any of that growing up, and so blessed that I'm able to do that. But it's also a lot, right? It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of energy. I wake up really early. I wake up at 3:45. I get time in the Word, and I exercise, and I do those things because I have learned that the way that I am, I'm very type A, very, you know, go, go, go. That I wasn't prioritizing any time for myself, and I needed to do that. I needed to quiet my mind, to quiet, like, to just have time for myself, because when the long days are coming, and when they're, you know, when there's a long day ahead of you, you want to start off on a good foundation. And what I've learned is that the best foundation has been through reading the Word and spending time with God. And one thing that I struggle with, that a lot of us struggle with, is like stillness. Like, what is it to be still? What is it to have rest? Like, this morning I was like, you know what? I really felt the Holy Spirit tell me, like, don't watch anything on your phone. Don't listen to anything. Just talk to me. And that's what I did. Like, it takes me about 20 minutes to get to work, and I just prayed. I prayed the entire time. And I don't know, like, I feel like emotional. I don't know. I feel emotional because, like, I see God moving so much in my life, but it's also like a burden that I'm carrying, that God is like, I didn't ask you to carry everything. Like, I didn't ask, there's some things that I'm carrying that He never asked me to carry. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Like, there's some things that are going to be difficult. There are some things that God is telling us, like, you need to endure, you need to put in the work, you need to have discipline, right? Discipline over feelings. But then there's also things that I, on my own strength, have said, oh, I can do that. I can do that, so I'm going to do it. And I'll give you an example. So several years ago, maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was contacted by a contractor who asked if I wanted to help him make reels. And reels are really easy for me to make. And at that time I was doing a lot of home content, so those were always super fun. And so I was doing content for him. He would send me the video content, and I would just do it, right? Well, about a month ago, he reached out. He wanted to see if I could help. And of course I was like, yes, like, of course I can help, right? Because what is another thing for me to add to my list, right? And so I said yes. And so we finally, I mean, we had been talking about it, but it was just like back and forth. And then this past week, Friday maybe, you know, he paid me for the work. So I was like, okay, I have to, you know, do the work, right? And it didn't take a lot of time. Like, it really didn't. But it was something that I was adding to my plate, adding to my to-do list, that now became something else that I needed to work on. And not only is it just like oh, it's just something you can do, and then if you don't do it, it's like, oh, I'll put it for the next day. Like, no, when somebody is asking you to do a service, and they're paying you for it, like, you have to deliver, right? So on Sunday, I took some time and I did that, and, you know, submitted that to him. And then yesterday when I was finishing that, I felt like this, like, oh, like I enjoy doing it, but God is like, I didn't ask you to do that. Like that was a test of whether you think that I will provide for you. And that's the thing, that an opportunity came for me to be able to earn extra money. And I said yes, because like, why not, right? If I can do it, why not? And yet, instead of being like, you know what, like, it's not the season, like I'm not in that space right now where I even have the time to dedicate doing something like that. Instead of saying no, I said yes, because I feel that at some point, you know, maybe I feel that the Lord won't provide, or like there's things that I have that are pending, that are kind of working in the background, that I'm like, well, I need extra money in order to do that. And instead of trusting that the Lord will bring provision, I said yes to something that he didn't really call me to do, you know? And that's hard. Like, oh, that's hard, because I'm used to saying yes. You know, I'm used to saying yes to things, and I'm used to being like, well, of course I can do it. And that's the thing, that a lot of the times we, like I mentioned earlier, we are picking up things that weren't meant for us to pick up. And so I want to just ask you, like, what is it in your life right now that is causing you to be tired, to feel exhausted, but you're doing when God didn't call you to do it? You know, like, what is it that you feel so burdened by right now, so tired, that God is like, I didn't ask you to pick that up? Like, I feel like whatever burdens, heaviness, right? The feelings, the emotion, the fatigue, the frustration, anger, whatever, sadness that we carry from things that go on in our life, like the Lord gives us rest from that. Like he says, like, you know, give me your burdens, right? Like, I will give you rest. I truly believe that the Lord does that. But in this sense, he's also saying, like, the actual thing, the things that you are carrying, not the feelings or emotions, but the things that you're doing, the tasks that you're doing, not all of those were from me. I didn't ask you to do that. And so there's other things, like, for example, on social media, for whatever reason, I got into this like habit of like, I'm gonna be posting, you know, 2 TikToks a day, and like, literally, again, last night I was thinking about this and reflecting on it, and I was kind of just like giving myself like a little mental checklist, and I was like, wow, like, you never asked me to do that either. Like, that was flawed thinking, that if I do that, then I will grow. And here I am stuck on thinking about something as silly as getting a follower on TikTok. And you know why? Like, literally, it's coming to my mind right now. You know why? It's because if I get to 1,000 followers, then I have the ability to earn money that way. Like, again, it goes back to the fact that I have not given authority of like my finances to the Lord. Like, it has been like, money has been such a thing that has put a lot of weight on me, because I want to provide for my family, because I have creative abilities that I enjoy using, and I have seen the fruit of that, especially on social media. Like, it's so easy sometimes to make money, and instead of trusting that the Lord will provide, I take on tasks that make me tired, that take up space in my head, because the ultimate goal is like, how can I make more money? And I know I'm not the only one. I at this point, you guys know my entire life. I tell you all everything, but I just feel like a lot of us get stuck or get distracted. We get distracted by the things of this world that everybody is doing, or we think that everybody's doing. And it's so funny because like I do social media, and to me I'm like everybody, but it's like everybody on my phone. But like literally I think I know maybe like one or two other people like in real life that do social media. But yeah, like this morning I got that revelation. Last night, like I mentioned, I was reflecting on things, and then this morning I felt like a bigger tug that like there's things that I'm carrying that I'm so tired from, but it's things that he didn't ask me to do. Like it's things that I did on my own, thinking like, oh, of course I can do it. And that's a thing, that we can do hard things, right? But we can do hard things with Christ. Like, and it's also the things that he's called us to do, right? There are things that we are going to be called to do that are going to be hard, that are going to be scary, that are going to feel overwhelming at times, but that is why we need the Lord. Like we need him in order to carry us through those things. Like he is the one that will carry us and give us that supernatural like strength and endurance and power to do that. He will help us, have discipline, right? To be able to do those things, to be intentional with our time. Like lately, I feel like that word intentional has been very specific, because I feel like I have not been intentional with my time, and I'm constantly running on empty and like go, go, go. But there's so much of my time that is distracted by things that don't need to be done, like, yeah, I don't know. This message is for somebody else. Somebody needed to hear this just as much as I needed the conviction. Because I think a lot of us are tired. We're exhausted. We are doing a lot. There's a lot that comes with the things that God is calling us to do, but there's a lot that we do for ourselves, to ourselves, and the Lord wants to give us rest. And you know what's crazy, or what's funny, timing, right? What's funny is that next week is spring break for my family, so my husband and my kids will be off. I'll be working, my typical schedule, but I started thinking, you know what, I think like this morning I thought this comes at a right time. Like next week is spring break, and I'm gonna take the week off to just regroup. I'm gonna take the week off to just rest, to spend time with my family, to not have to go. It is better to see this and reflect on this now than to wait for some implosion or explosion. I don't know, depending on how you are. I definitely implode. Like I get overwhelmed and then I get all but I feel like it's better that I'm reflecting on this now and realizing that this is what's happening right now, so that I can use this time that's coming up wisely, to just rest, to just be, to just spend time with my family, to just not have to worry about posting, analytics, like the message, anything, right? Because if I rest now, when I feel that I'm being called to rest, then I will come back with all these ideas, this creativity, these messages, these like everything, right? And yeah, like I don't know what season you're in. I don't know if there's vacation time that's coming up for you, but I just really urge you to like put your phone away, don't have a to-do list on your vacation. Don't have things that you feel like you got to do because you're going to be off. And I am so guilty of that. Like my husband is going to be off, and it is very typical for me to be like, I'm going to give you honeydews. And you know what? It's like, that's not fair. Like, yes, there's things in the house that need to be done. Yes, there's things that like I need help with. But it's also not fair for me to put that on him when he also deserves rest, So I am excited for the comeback, right? I'm excited for God to continue to speak to me, to reveal things so that I can come back and continue to do the things that he's calling me to do. Like, I enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys. I don't know what this looks like in the future. For now, I feel like I'm going to continue to do it Monday through Friday. But next week, I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to take time off. I won't be posting videos. I don't know what the algorithm's going to do, but you know what? I serve a good and mighty God. And at the end of the day, this channel is for him and for his glory. And if there's one thing that I know that my God will do, is that if it's a message that needs to be delivered, he will do that, even without me doing work. Like, he is a God that moves miraculously and instantaneously. Like, we don't have to work at it. The oil is on you. He will make it work. See, like, literally, like right now, revelation, like the revelation that God is like, you don't have to worry about the metrics. You don't have to worry about how your bill's going to get paid. You don't have to worry about the subscriber count. You don't have to worry about the silly things. You don't have to worry about how you're going to make a little bit of extra cash doing social media for somebody. You don't have to worry about all that. All you got to do is rest, and like, rest in me. Come to me and I will give you rest. Come to me and I will take away the burdens. Come to me. Like, he just wants us to come. He just wants us to come and rest. And we need to stop going. We need to stop being distracted. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Like, my kids are at an age where they're very aware of things. And as much as I tell myself that I'm not really on my phone, I pick up my phone probably still more than I would like to, and they notice. And so those are really good convictions. My children are the best at telling me or showing me what I'm doing wrong. And it's good. It's good for people to point things out that are not serving you, you know? I don't know. I'm all in my feelings. Like, I literally feel like I just want to cry. Like, I don't know if you guys ever feel that, like, where you feel like you want to cry, not because I'm sad. Like, it's not because I'm sad. I want to cry, and I just want to, like, thank God for everything that I have. Like, because I'm not perfect, because I, make mistakes, and he still loves me and cares for me, and he reminds me that he's there, He reminds me that he's there, and that I don't have to be worrying about how to make money. I don't have to worry about, any platform that he uses me in. Like, I don't have to worry about those silly things. I don't have to worry about, how to fit certain things in my day. Like, he's just gonna do it. He's just gonna do it. And before you know it, you've done it. Like, yesterday I was mentioning earlier that I feel like the manifestation of what's been going on in my head subconsciously. I was at home yesterday. I spent the day studying, and I was just feeling like I would feel like my heart rate would spike, and then I would feel kind of lightheaded, and then I was just like, and then I took like a little break. I went outside into the trampoline and like just laid on the trampoline in the sun, like. And then I had errands to do. I had to like go do things, and like Mondays are crazy, so I had to like go do things, and I had to take my son to a dentist appointment, and like even on my way over there, I could feel it. I could feel this like, and like today I don't feel that. Today I just feel like just, and it was like literally my body being anxious and telling me like, you need to slow down, you need to slow down. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to the clues and the cues. The Lord is good. The Holy Spirit tells us, he tells us when we are starting to stray. I hope this message encouraged you somehow. I'm sorry that I get emotional, but I don't know. It's real life. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.